We're here with Anthony Wood, the head coach over at Westwood High School here on the Padilla Poll, psquaredsports.com. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Jeff.
13-6A. Let's talk about your district first of all, because it looks tough. Rouse comes into the district this year, and you still got some powerhouses like Pflugerville, and Cedar Ridge is another up-and-coming team that's been really strong. Your thoughts, though, about as you go into this district, are you ready? Are you prepared? What do you feel about your team?
You know, we try to get prepared in the spring, knowing what we have to look forward to. The district's going to be well balanced, I think. There's going to be a lot of teams with Rouse and Hendrickson and Round Rock and Stony Point and Cedar Ridge, and I can just keep going. And McNeil has a new head coach, and so I'm looking at the district to be very balanced. And really, I think it's going to come down to the very end, figuring out what the last couple of playoff spots, who they're going to go to.
Bear Fenimore's gone over at the University of Houston. Got a chance to see him in the spring. He's done quite well already over there. Who's your quarterback now? And just tell me about maybe your offensive line, too, and who's going to protect him.
You know, we've got a couple of kids fighting for the job right now. Right now, Jack Swinson's in the lead. He'll go into the season right now as a starting quarterback, but Ian Lee is a close second. And the guys up front, we've got three two-year starters coming back. One, Joseph Frankowski, he's a tackle. Hayden McSorley's another tackle. Both those kids are about 6'5". And then we've got a guard in Michael Buckley, who's a returning starter also. So we've got some kids with experience. We've got some kids with size. We've got a couple of young kids we're expecting some good things from. But, you know, the most interesting position is probably going to be our running back position. We've got two incoming sophomores that we think are going to split time, but remind me of a kid by the name of Princeton Collins that we had, and both those kids I think have a bright future as long as they stay the course and do the right thing. I think we have some bright days ahead of us.
So with 11 returning starters, pretty balanced on both sides, 6 and 5. Tell me about your defense, what you expect on that side of the ball.
Well, you know, one of the things I did is I brought back one of our former coaches, Brad Pugh, who had left to take a head coaching job in Illinois, turned the program around up there in Pleasant Plains, and had an opportunity to bring him back as a defensive coordinator. You know, I think it was a great move for our program. Just having him back is going to make us better. But we've got some kids with our linebacking crew, Dayton Ames, who's coming off an injury, who'll be back. We've got Diego Guerra, we've got Mitchell Telez, Zach Sigler, Troy Bishop. I mean, we've got Cody Kiefer's a returning starter. We've got Christian Benford. We've got some guys up front. We're going to be undersized up front. But one of the things that I think we'll do well is we'll stunt real well. We've played really good games up front, knowing that Brad, our Coach Pugh, is a former defensive line coach who loves to stunt.
That helps.
He's got great techniques, all about repetition. So he'll do a good job for us. I'm just looking for the season to get started, and let's get this thing rolling.
Hey, and speaking of, your non-district schedule is always really tough. I know you play Cedar Park and a lot of the top teams in the Austin area. Tell me about that schedule.
You know, one of the things that you know, I think we need to know early who can play. Okay. And so, you know, we scrimmage Brenham every year, which they're a top 10 school. We'll open up with Georgetown, who's ranked, I think, 15th. Then we've got Anderson. Then we've got Cedar Park. We've had Lake Travis and Bowie every year, but knowing they've gone to a 9-team district, we had to drop them from our schedule. But, you know, I'm not worried about how well we do non-district, because that doesn't get us to where we want to go in terms of record. But what it does do, it gives me an idea, hey, this kid can play for us, this kid can't. We need to move this kid to a new position. So by the time district starts, we're in the position to make a run at the playoff spot. And that's ultimately, you got to get to the third season in order to make it to the ultimate goal. And so that's what we're trying to do. And we're going to maintain that tough non-district schedule every year.
Very good. Anthony Wood, always a pleasure, man.
Thanks, Jeff.
Westwood High School for the Padilla Poll. I'm Jeff Power. Check us out on psquaredsports.com.